So I get a lot of messages asking, do I need to upgrade the gun? Do I need to buy parts before the safe pack arrives? So on and so forth. When the safe pack comes, it comes like that. It might have a spare spring on hand, might not. Odds are you won't need it. There's the O-ring. The key thing to do before getting a safe pack is make sure you know how to take apart a 2240. When you take it apart, you get the valve out. Set aside this front portion, if I can put it right there. Set that aside, we're not going to be using it. You drop out your valve stem, also known as the poppet, and the spring that was inside the valve. Those go together, stay in the same configuration. Let me get this spare one out of the way. This goes into here. There's a hard stop right there. Slide the valve onto the safe pack and tighten it down. Hook it up to your hand pump, compressor. 99% of them nowadays, whether or not we want to believe it, they originate in China. They have the 8mm fitting that fits the Foster connection on the safe pack. What I generally do, fill it to 1,000. It's holding air. There's pressure against your valve stem. On top of the spring pressure, you shouldn't be able to move it with your finger once you hit 1,000. Slip it into the front of the gun. Tighten everything back down. Then put your breech, your transfer port seal, your transfer port, and all that stuff back on while it's still holding. People might say, oh, that's dangerous. Well, if the gun's not loaded, it's really not. At least you get a verifiable check. All right, this thing's holding air. There's no audible leaks. They're pressure tested before they leave, so they're holding air when they arrive. I just like to have some pressure in there to keep that poppet seated before I go putting it in the gun, reassembling, and getting bogged down if it turns out that there is a leak, there's a problem, there's sediment under the poppet, whatever the case may be. But that's it. The valve, the safe pack, is just an extension of the front of your valve. So you're just going from having, let's say, a 2 cc, internal volume in your valve. You're just switching it over to a massive front end so that you have 25 cc's. That's really it. There's no pinning required. You don't need a drill press and a tap and die set. You just need the basic hand tools. If you can disassemble your 2240 on a practice run before this arrives, you should be able to install this in about 10 minutes. And that's a moderate pace with, no sweat. Obviously, if it's a customized gun, it's a little more complicated. But for a regular 2240 out of the factory, non-XL variant, the XL, you have that front adapter. So you'd need a longer barrel or something without that adapter, because where that adapter ends up sitting, the half to 20 threads, ends up sitting right here, and there's no clearance. So for a 2240 XL, get a longer barrel, 10-inch minimum, before you even get started. Really, if you're going to up the barrel on the 2240 XL, you might as well go to 14, and you'll have clearance just past the end of the safe pack to add an LDC. But the basic installation is this, and that's it. It's ready to shoot. If I fill this right now and whack the back of the valve stem with a hammer, it's going to be a real loud blast of air, and that's exactly what's happening inside the gun. And that's pretty much it. I know it's deceiving because people think there's got to be a complication to it, and there's really not. I don't think I've had anybody just straight up fail at installing it. I don't think that's happened yet. And I've sold these as far back as 2017, and there's probably, 75 or 100 units out there right now. That's all I got. Thank you for watching.